Okay, Game 3 on Romanticide. Firesrest. Firesrest has gone back to Protoss. Oh, hold on. It is one game apiece. We are best of 3. So this is the decider. Firesrest back to Protoss and Seli as the Terran in the bottom right. Yeah, so Romanticide, a fairly normal layout for the 3 bases. You've got this interesting access where you can mine these out to gain access through here. So that does present an opportunity if you wish to harass your opponent's third. It is possible as a Terran to drop mules to mine these through, or to send a few workers across the map and mine them through. They're very small. As you can see, there's only 10 minerals in each, so 2 SCVs will mine that out and open up that pathway. Yeah, so we'll see if that comes into play or not, but in general, you know, an army positioned here is in a good spot to defend your natural and to wander over in this direction and also defend your third. So unlike Oxide, much more standard in terms of getting up to 3 bases and holding it. The fourth is a slightly trickier setup, but it is a map that you can divide in half. It's also a big map, so lends itself pretty reasonably to a big old macro game, this map. Okay. Barracks finished up then, full wall off coming for Seli and the upgrade to orbital, everything normal. Quick nexus for Firesrest with weirdly a zealot in production. And, you know, for me that's just kind of like, it's a bit like, what? you've gone nexus before Cybercore, which is generally what you do if you want to play that economic opener and you're not worried about something coming. But then you build the zealot, which is like what you do if you do think there's something coming. I don't quite get it. Anyway, it's going to normalize. The side core is halfway down and there isn't anything coming. Isn't even a Reaper. Oh yeah, of course there is. I'm terrible at this. There is a Reaper making its way across. So the zealot, you know, can't catch the Reaper, but is still really helpful. Just in terms of means the Reaper can't stand still and kind of annoy you too much. You can just have the Zealot will chase the Reaper around, and then it's up to the Terran to micro the Reaper if they want. But you don't have to worry about microing your workers against it. So the Zealot is still very useful in that regard. Yeah. Adept coming out. Are we going to see a second Adept? No, what we're looking for here is a clean sweep, one of each gateway unit. So one Zealot already out, one Adept already out, one Stalker and one Sentry in production. We saw previously Firesrest actually managed to get a worker kill with a single Adept, and maybe that's what he's going to aim to do here, get across the map. In general, you know, it's become a really standard opener for Protoss to just send 2 Adepts across the map as soon as they can and try and get some worker kills. Straight away, the Adept, I would have liked him to have focused on the worker building the depot straight off the bat, because he could have got that. But, oh, that worker is going to survive with roughly 1 health. Yeah, so the shed back in is going to have a bit of a look around. The door closes, but he finishes the shed. I don't know about that. That's going to be a dead Adept, surely. He does get the worker for his trouble, but, you know, an Adept for 1 worker? No. An Adept for 2 workers? Okay. 1 worker? No. And didn't actually get into the main base, but did see, presumably, the factory with the tech lab. So, you know, not bad, not awesome, not terrible. So sees that it looks normal is essentially the main thing here. Nothing particularly funky going on. No, didn't see a starport with a tech lab, for example, which would be a big tell. So the siege tank, it looked like the siege tank wanted to get on onto the low ground, never quite made it. And to be honest, the siege tank on this map, it's pretty safe to get your siege tank down into this position or somewhere like that. No probs there. Quite a lot of dead space around to the side here on this map. So If you're a Terran, you can have a medevac parked over here ready to dive in and ruin your opponent's day. If you're Protoss, similarly with the Oracle, you can plenty of room for an Oracle to be recharging. This guy, I'd like to see him get back into the main base any time now and have a bit of a look around. It does look like Firesrest is going to be the first to get a scout inside his opponent's base, because the observer, there's no turret or anything here. The observer should be able to fly straight on in. And unless Seli catches a whiff of it and drops a scan at a good moment, it should be able to come in and see everything. So, very normal for the Terran. Additional barracks coming up, medevac in production. The factory in a position to sort of crank out siege tanks if he decides to do that. Now, the observer is just going to sort of go into, I don't know, I've forgotten what you call this mode, sort of spy mode or whatever. And I would have liked to see it go into the men, to be honest, because you've stopped short, and actually you could have got a good look at all the tech choices. Not that there's that much to see, but that in itself is revealing. Yeah, the Reaper, I think, gets chased away by something over here. There's a couple of Void Rays going to make their way across. Was there 2 Void Rays? Did I imagine that? No, there's only 1 Void Ray. I did imagine that. I thought this Void Ray was already coming across the map. Maybe it was. Reaper goes down before it can get back into the Protoss base, so no further scouting information. A single Void Ray. What are you going to do with that? I'm not 100% sure. It can be pretty annoying. There is a lot of empty space back here, as I mentioned, so it can come in, focus stuff down and just run away. And Void Rays are pretty quick now. Obviously Stim Marines can catch it, but Marines without Stim will struggle to do so. You don't want prismatic alignment though, and you definitely, why are you shooting that? So prismatic alignment doesn't make any difference against the SCVs. It makes difference against armored stuff, but it makes your Void Ray move much more slowly and accelerate more slowly. So ultimately the Void Ray only gets 1 kill, does a bit of damage to a refinery, does however get a full scout and may get another kill, but you definitely do not want to lose the Void Ray. A Void Ray is an expensive beast. Now Seli needs to split these Marines up a little bit. Now the Void Ray is beginning to get some hurt done, but look, he's done some damage to several units and he's lost the Void Ray in the end for 1 worker and a scout. I don't like it. I would have liked the Void Ray to be alive. Look, hurt. You've literally hurt about 5 SCVs and only killed 1 of them. So pretty sloppy micro with the Void Ray there, indeed. Charge, yeah, good charge script upgrade, and that is coming. There's another Void Ray in production, and yeah, it looks like it. Not a dissimilar sort of army to what we've seen before. A little non-committal, a little confused, a bit of everything really. Let's get charged. Let's get a robo. Let's get a starport. A bit weird. Can be, I'm not saying it wasn't effective. It was, but yeah, bit weird. Anyway, this move out that is coming through here, there's only 2 medevacs with this, and I sort of feel that if there were more, this could be pretty savage. What I'd love him to do here is just move the siege tank here, siege them up, load the Marines into the medevacs, and just boost the Marines up to here, and that gives Firesrest a real headache. Because he can just elevate the Marines out of the way. This is more like it. Getting the siege tank sieged up in advance is where you want it to be. And then, either send the medevac forward to give sight or drop the scan or what have you. Firesrest knows about it. He finds out about it now as... I'm not sure about this. As I say, I would have really liked him to siege up. 3 siege tanks... do a lot of damage to this stuff coming down a ramp. A lot of damage. So, yeah, I don't know. Don't know about the choice of engagement here. The Darkshine is about to finish. Is there a warp prism on the map? There is not. So no danger of DTs sort of suddenly arriving in the base. But In the previous game, we saw DTs in the mix with the army, just adding DPS, and they do add substantial DPS. Not as much as those storms did. And there we see the Templar archives coming down. So Immortal in production, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing a warp prism so that we can like drop some DTs into the back here. Yeah, there are turrets, but still the DTs can just be really, really annoying, can't they? A reasonable number of barracks here for Seli. I'd like to see some more. Yeah, we've got like 6 racks off 3 bases. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of reactors or whatever so that he can really hold down the button on that marine production. It does seem to favour a bio army. Marine tank is very much his go-to, and there's nothing wrong with marine tank, but if that is going to be your go-to, you know, 10 or 12 barracks wouldn't be, you know, wouldn't be a bad plan. Yeah, cool. Okay, you know, DT's just parked at home. I don't know, man. Let's get them busy, you know. If they're here, they're just killing stuff, aren't they? Worst case scenario, your opponent has to drop a scan to kill one of them, and that's like 250 minerals. Oh, Shadow Strike. You don't often see the this is like basically blink for DTs, and it is a bit of a thing. Blink DTs can be really quite good. So this scan sees a lone zealot being warped in, but sees the entire army. You know, there's a warp prism here, and there's DTs, and they're just parked at home, and it's kind of making me feel a bit sad. This is a big Terran army, a big scary army. 1/1 is done. +1 attack is done for the Protoss, but no +1 armor, and that might be something he's going to regret. If Seli handles this engagement correctly, you know, he can produce an awful lot of savagery here, and I'd love to see the siege tanks up against these minerals, because the zealots can't get through the minerals. The siege them up, please, Seli. Yes. So this is a better engagement. If we see some storms come down, this could be a bit brutal, but the siege tanks are doing the business, battering away and just churning out so much hurt on this. No storms. Where are the storms? Yeah, so needs to move the siege tanks forward now, but to be honest, he has been incredibly effective already in production. Only 3 Marines. You know, don't forget to keep your finger on the button. These DTs coming out, if Seli doesn't know about them, are, you know, going to do an awful lot of damage here, and are continuing to do damage. So a scan is definitely necessary. Has he got a scan at home? Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't have enough energy for it. So finally the scan comes down, and he manages to do some cleaning up. But to be honest, Seli, you've won this engagement, so just lift everything up into the medevacs and go home. You know, you've killed a base, you've killed an army, you've killed a lot of workers. Let's have a quick peek. Yeah, so you know, I know the units killed. This is a number value rather than anything else. If we look at the resources lost, Firesrest, even though he's killed more of his opponent's units, has lost almost twice as much in terms of resources. So, you know, units killed can be deceptive, because obviously Marines are like, you throw Marines away. Marines are cannon fodder. They are so cheap compared to like losing Stalkers, DTs, Templars. That is expensive. So you don't mind losing Marines. These Dark Templars are not actually attacking. I don't know if he should have attacked there, because it's just going to be a scan and give away the position of these. And is he actually going to lose them all? 2 of them are going to make it through, but Seli's onto you, and I think had you not attacked, had you just moved them through, you could have potentially got them into your opponent's base, where they could have got more done. As it is a massive army advantage for Seli. He's done the right thing. He backed up, went home, regrouped. Are there storms? There are. Are there enough storms? Yeah, it does look like there might be. It's certainly going to be close. How hard to see what's happening in here. There is still a massive army advantage for Seli. A lot of it's tied up in these medevacs though, but the siege tanks are going to stand strong, and this base is going to go down for a second time. They siege up, and watch what happens to the Templars. They just get evaporated. That's what I was talking about in the first game. You know, that is what siege tanks do to Templars. They just obliterate them. So yeah, that is GG, and it is Seli that takes it 2-1. A pretty cool series. Both good players, but it's Seli that comes through victorious, and I believe that match was a decider for who actually progresses to the elimination round, which I guess is due to start. So all good scraft. Yeah, very nice. Looking forward to the elimination round. Looking forward to some of the high level plays that we're going to see in that round. GG.